safari on Holland, South Africa. Fantastic. Really found it amazing. Very peaceful and spiritual, I found
Spiritual?
it. Yeah, just getting close to the wild animals. Yeah, it was really good.
Which one did you most associate yourself with?
Probably the lion, I suppose. Yeah, if you wanted me to say that.
Pearkin and Vim Keith spun the ball into the net, and Ireland exited Euro 88, and Holland went on to win it. Roy Keane, and not a particularly good clearance. Gary Kelly sliding in there firmly. That's Newman, and Roy Keane with the first big tackle.
Just in the first minute of the game, he did exactly what we needed to do with John and Liam, and I said beforehand, let them know you're there, test their attitude, and there's a ball played in here, and this is in the first minute, and if you watch him here, whack! Now, you're welcome to Lansdowne Road.
This has to be, I think, quite a red card, but...
You think it should have been a red card?
Yeah, I think so, because you know, you see the tackle.
Yeah.
From behind, vicious. The good thing was they play at home. It was in the first
30 seconds, I think, actually.
First 5 minutes,
yeah.
And you know, psychologically, it's very, very smart that he did it, because the referee wouldn't give him a red card for sure.
Yeah. Did you just? Well, I'll go on in a sec. But would you have talked much about Roy Keane before that game and what he could be?
Sure. Sure, we knew him that he was in tackles. He was the master, and also he was the leader of Ireland.
Yes, in among them, Cuckoo goes down.
I'm happy to see that. I just hope that if Ireland could get a couple of tackles in like that without yellow cards, I'll be very pleased, because this is exactly the type of thing we need to unsettle the Dutch.
Duff. Robbie Keane. McAteer towards Roy Keane. Minded by Melchior. Shot Robbie Keane.
Anyway, thankfully he just was a very weak attempt.
Quite got there. And Van Bommel was unchallenged. Van Bommel. And now given to save.
This is what we feared.
Here's Roy Keane. Holland has made a run. He's checked it now. Hart towards Matty Holland, Stam climbing over him and barging him out of the way. Good decision of the referee. Kilban free on the left, and Keane spotted him. Melchior is closed now.
Told Robbie Keane to try and split the two centre halves.
Cuckoo. Should be Staunton's, nicely cushioned for Roy Keane. And on for Van Nistelrooy, dispossessed by Hart. Now it's Keane. Good awareness, Zenden was arriving. Keane. McAteer, the run comes from Roy Keane, but Van der Sar able to take control of that.
That was a bit of a waste, and Roy Keane's letting Jason McAteer know exactly that. I mean, he played much too much on that.
Gary Kelly and Roy Keane and Kilban. Still a degree of edginess involved. And Robbie Keane in to dispossess Van Bommel. And Roy Keane is in there. It's all got a bit fractious, and the outcome is a free kick to Ireland. Robbie Keane has certainly begun to shine, but sadly for Ireland, he's shining in the middle of the field.
Well, it's symptomatic of the way things are going.
Van Nistelrooy holding off Staunton, and Roy Keane digs it out from his new teammate. It's a throw to Holland. Not a good pass by Stam. And Van Bommel was injured in that 50-50 with Kilban. It's now Roy Keane. Duff has gone offside. It's gone for Ian Hart, who's left it for Kilban. Plenty in the middle. Kilban's cross. Roy Keane going in. Newman heading it away. And now Roy Keane there to assist. Keane for Duff. Fairly long. Melchior's only gone as far as Roy Keane. Through the challenge of Van Bommel. Keane on then for Kilban to measure the cross. Oh dear, it needed. Roy Keane climbing high. Kilban. McAteer flat for Roy Keane. To drill one in. He didn't catch it properly, he knows that. Roy Keane in to win it back. Staunton again. McAteer's made. Melchior. Zenden. Roy Keane tangling with Van Bommel, and the free kick is given Ireland's way. One of those real 50-50s, and Roy Keane certainly wasn't going to shirk the challenge.
I think it was clever by the referee, because see the way Van Bommel's tried to play the man.
Calmness personified. He really was in control in that situation. Roy Keane has played it for Damien Duff, and he's found Keane again. Newman caught Duff after the ball had gone. Duff is back on his feet. It's Cuckoo who's back to break up the attack. But that's well won by Hart. Keane, Roy Keane that is, and he was being pulled back by Cuckoo. And they've done just that with Keane now. McAteer.
He'll be looking to get into the box, and he's somebody to keep an eye on.
Not a good ball from him. Kilban for Roy Keane. And McAteer for Keane again. Hofland out, and Keane goes thundering through, and it's an Irish ball. Hold it again, says McCarthy. Damien Duff wanted to take the quick. Duff. Roy Keane, McAteer out to Kilban. Hart, Keane. Overmars. Well stopped by Steve Finnan. Now Keane to lead the attack. He's looked up, he's seen Duff in the middle, but he'll go as far as he can. Tracked by Stam. Nicely played and supported by Jason McAteer, who loses the possession. And Keane has to go and win it back again. And Finnan is clattered. The ball. Hasselbank. That wasn't very clever.
It's not what he's renowned for, is it?
And Roy Keane using Given. Well, he had the confidence to do it, but 30,000 hearts were in mouths at that point. And now Roy Keane, you can always depend on him. Duff in close attendance. Keane is fouled. Duff helping it on towards Finnan. Finnan facing Cuckoo. And a little cross in there, and it's come through here. McAteer! Amsterdam revisited. There has been agony this afternoon. Now there is ecstasy.
The likes of Roy Keane, Steve Stone, and lots of talking. Keep the concentration. Don't let up now. Just hang in there.
And that was Van Hooydonk, and now it's Keane. And he rode the challenge of Van Bommel. Well, that will do. Kluivert with the backward header on. Staunton getting it to Dunn. Try to force it clear. Back it's come from Van Bronckhorst. It's Roy Keane playing the captain's part, who's got it further away. 10 minutes to try and retrieve it, and Ireland have 10 minutes to battle on. And Keane got the better of Van Bronckhorst, and then Stam fouled Damien Duff. Amazing when you think of it. Keane was immense there too, and then Stam pulled over Duff. On by Keane, and Roy Keane penalised. Hart holding him at bay. Hasselbank tried the shot, blocked by Richard Dunn.
See again, Kilban stood behind him for a long time doing nothing. He's got to get there and try and help Hart. Man's trying to take him on. Go to what you see in front of you.
Ireland have won this vote, and Roy Keane has been nominated man of the match by the press box. I think you should maybe have cast your vote, Jim, for Damien Duff.
Possibly, maybe he would have won it. Keane's been terrific. He always is in a green shirt of Ireland. But Damien Duff for me has been, well, he's picked it.
And Staunton in his 91st international.
Well, it's die-hard stuff from at the back. I mean, you always knew it was going to come down, particularly with 10 men, to grit, heart, spirit, and the Irish have dug in superbly well.
Finnan. Hofland. And it's Keane, and Quinn, and Keane, and McAteer! Here we go! Holland funnel back. Meltdown to chase it.
Corner, that's all he needs.
Don't need the goal.
Corner.
Keep it in there, and the seconds tick away. And the whistle sounds of Lansdowne Road. It has to be one of the most courageous, the most brave, the most committed, and ultimately the most effective of Irish performances that we've ever seen. And Mick McCarthy has taken his team, surely, all the way to Korea, and Holland are as good as out. The mathematics may suggest it, that Holland can still go there and that Ireland won't. But after that today, against one of the top teams in the world, Who's going to say that Cyprus are going to come here and spoil the party? Louis Van Gaal knows it. Mick McCarthy knows it. This was the cup final, and Jason McAteer has won it for the 10 men of Ireland. Hasselbank gets commiserations from the Irish manager, but what a performance, particularly with Gary Kelly having got his second yellow card and having been sent off. This is what decided it all. Steve Finnan managed to create something out of that, and Jason McAteer, with nobody in attendance, scored the most memorable of goals. A brilliant finish, truly brilliant from that position, where he could so easily have put it out onto Lansdowne Road itself, into the back of the Dutch net. Ireland have beaten Holland. They've scored in 15 consecutive internationals. They've never lost a competitive tie at home under Mick McCarthy, and they need just one more without defeat against Cyprus, and they are there.
Again, and I think the goal, when we get to see the goal again, shows the contribution to that goal was skill, and it was the skill and courage of Roy Keane, then Finnan, and ultimately McAteer.
Maybe we should look at it again.
The goal was a wonderful goal, and Keane is the person, really, he's the catalyst, the driving force of the team, and he's the source of all inspiration. And I think you see him here outside left, going past people. He sets up for Duff, who knocks a simple ball, and Finnan, who's come into the game, does really well here. We think he's going to lose it, but he doesn't. He checks out, and this is a very difficult ball to take on the hop, back of the net.